What is up? It is Fred from the Red Chair Reviews. I hope you are doing well. I am doing well, though slightly unkempt perhaps, but I'm doing quite well. And I wanted to share our pickups for the month of August 2025. It's a little early in August, but I don't think we're going to be getting much more this month. So I thought I would just do this video now and get it out of the way. If you enjoy what we're doing, please like, subscribe, follow, share, all those fun things, because it's a lot easier to make these videos if I know more people are watching. So I enjoy doing these, and I hope you enjoy watching them. Let's show you what Aaron and I picked up this month at various record stores in the area and through online orders as well. Here we go. Kind of a super group here called Sun Don't Shine. This song is called Coming Down. Kenny Hickey, mostly known for it. Same thing with Johnny Kelly, mostly known for Typo Negative. And then Kirk Winstein and Todd Strange through work of Crowbar and Down. This is kind of the project of the four of them. I've only heard a couple songs, and this is one that they released on a 12-inch single. And I also got a CD that's signed by them. This is exciting. I really like this band, what they're doing right now. So if you haven't seen Coming Down by Sun Don't Shine, the band's called Sun Don't Shine. They're originally called I Am, E-Y-E-A-M. And they changed that because, I don't know, they just decided they didn't like the name anymore. So there you go. This is a side project of Gavin Harrison and Nick Johnston. This is called Early Mercy. I ordered this because I was intrigued by it, because I pretty much anything Gavin Harrison does I'm intrigued by. So I ordered it, and then my wife was like, did we get hacked? What is this record? I'm like, I don't know. No, we did not get hacked. I did order this, and I can't wait to hear this Early Mercy album. It's got 8 tracks on it, and I'm sure it's incredible. So I'm looking forward to hearing that. One of 2 live Dio records. I got it because it's got a lenticular cover, which you really can't see on camera, but it's got this cool lenticular cover. Holy Diver live. Dio always sounds incredible live, so why not? Tom Petty's last full length was called Hypnotic Eye. I believe this came out in 2014, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on that. Yeah, I think it's 2014. But it's got a really rockin' song to start it out called American Dream Plan B, which is way more rockin' than Tom Petty should be doing at that stage of his career. So I snagged this at my favorite local record store, the Record Connection in Niles, Ohio. Next, we have this pop collab, I Said I Love You First, by Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco. I'm not sure if I'm even going to like this. It's a signed candy cane vinyl. I heard one track off, and I was like, this isn't bad, but do I need a whole album of this? Probably not. But it was pretty cheap, and I think it's an interesting collab. I don't know if they're going to do more together or not, but I'll check it out. Rush! Caress of Steel! I make fun of Rush, but I love Rush. What a great band. 3-piece. Is there a better 3-piece? I've always said Slipknot should be 3 times the band of Rush if they have 9 people. But they're not. I like Slipknot, but they're, Rush is. For being a 3-piece, doing what they were doing as early as they did, you can't deny the amazingness of Rush, can you? I can't. This is White 2 by Sun. Many people think they're called Sun-O because they have like this circle with a kind of looks like the sun, but they're called Sun, S-U-N-N. Kind of this, the doom rock, stoner rock genre. More doom, really, I would say. But I had White 1, so we saw White 2, and it was still sealed. And it's from Southern Lord Records, who always does all sorts of cool underground stuff, so we grabbed that. Another Sun record, Void. Once again, limited pressing. And we have a lot of Sun records by now. I don't know if we have all of them. We're getting close. How about this? The Empire Strikes Back. We had the first soundtrack, and the reason I love these soundtracks is because they come with like a picture book included in them with some cool photos from the movies. Star Wars holds a special place in my heart. I know that's kind of a nerdy thing to say, but I don't care. They were I think the first Star Wars came out in 1977, as did I. I also emerged from the womb in 1977. So I remember this being like the first kind of cool sci-fi thing when I was very young that people were talking about. And I've always loved Star Wars, and I continue to. Even the Disney ones. Okay, this is Napalm Death, From Enslavement to Obliteration. 1988 Earache Records. Napalm Death is sloppy and loud. But, I mean, that's kind of how you like your kind of early grind and thrash, isn't it? It's supposed to be. Avenged Sevenfold, Waking the Fallen. I'm not going to lie to you, the reason we got this is because it's a pressing that's kind of hard to come by. Kind of this smoky gray. I think I had this on picture disc. I Awaken the Fallen on picture disc, and I don't like picture discs very much. So we grabbed it on Smoky Gray, and it was pretty cheap. It was like maybe 30 bucks, and it's worth probably 3 times that. Although, once again, our records really are worth nothing because we're not going to sell them, so the records are all worth $0. Continuing the Sabbath kind of vibe, I was actually digging on Sabbath before Ozzy passed away quite a bit. I mean, I've always loved Sabbath, but I was like kind of digging back into their stuff, a few months before his passing. I was listening to Technical Ecstasy. There's a song, the second song on there, it has the word change in it, but it's not. I wish I could remember the exact name of it. It's the second song on that album, but it's just really underrated. I was like just digging more and more into some of the stuff that maybe I missed or just hadn't listened to in a while. And we didn't have this live reunion record that originally came out in 1998. So I grabbed that, a nice 3 LP gatefold. We only pick up prints when we find it used, and this is Graffiti Bridge. It's got something. I think it's got some Morris Day on the back here, maybe. Yeah, Morris Day of the Time. I think that this record is not his finest, but it's still solid at times. And I mean, anything Prince is good. Van Halen's Balance. This is Van Hagar, which not everyone loves. I do. I'm a little salty because I got the Van Halen box sets. I was like, I got it all covered. And then they released these separate, which is fine. I don't mind them releasing stuff in the box set like separate. It's cool. But then they're putting like tracks on here that aren't in the box set. There's a couple tracks on here that aren't in the box set, like, extras, unreleased tracks. That makes me kind of salty. Like, you get people to pay, $100 and some or more for the box set, and then you put the albums out separately and you add new tracks like within like a year of the box sets coming out. Big money grab, which I don't love, but I do love Van Halen. So, and I like Van Hagar better. I do. Beck, Mellow Gold. We've been thinking about pulling the trigger on the original pressing, and the original pressings, because I think this repress was coming out, have been dropping down to like 160, 170. I don't need to spend that much for this record. I have a couple expensive Beck records that may never get repressed, and I was willing to pay for Midnight Vultures, for example. But Mellow Gold, it's his like breakthrough record. It's got Loser on it, of course, and kind of I think this album made the rest of his career possible, but it's not his best. And I didn't want to spend that much money on an original pressing. I was struggling at the Attic Records in Pittsburgh because they had the repressings of Cherry Bomb by Tyler, the Creator, of course. And, this particular album came out for Record Store Day a few years ago, and it's highly sought after, not a large pressing. But they also had an alternative cover, which has been out before, but they both were repressed. And I'm like, I probably need to get these. So I did. I don't know. It's a good record. I don't know if I needed 2 pressings of it. I'd never grabbed this Cave-In. I was just listening to Cave-In's Jupiter. I'm going to do a video about Cave-In's Jupiter because I think it's such a beautiful, underrated record. This is later stuff, Heavy Pendulum. It's cool. Blood Spiller is a track that I'm really liking on this album. I didn't need to buy this record anytime soon, but I found it used, and it was like 25 bucks. And so that's worth filling in the Cave-In. Here, we didn't have Rush's Presto, and this is a very early original pressing. My wife just got it because it's got bunnies on it, and she loves bunnies. But yeah, I think the only Rush albums we need now is we need a good pressing of their self-titled early on, and then the last 4 records, Snakes and Arrows, Vapor Trails, those are all in a box set, which I'm probably going to pick up very soon because I don't want them to sell out. I kind of want one. This one, I'll cover the naughty bits. This is Ghost Bath, which I talked about them in the last video I did. These guys are great. If you haven't heard any Ghost Bath and you like extreme kind of metal, black metal influenced stuff, it's really good. Here's a box set of Mariah Carey's rarities from 2020. I know this sounds strange, but Mariah Carey doesn't press vinyl like crazy. So they kind of press her stuff and then it goes away for a while and it kind of spikes. It's hard to find. So this Rarities box set is pretty neat. It's 4 LPs. It's got Alive the Tokyo Dome, which is the second 2 LPs from 1996. But this is kind of like her lesser known tracks, some of the unreleased tracks or soundtrack things, original versions, things like that. Mariah has a voice that is pretty much unstoppable. Steven Wilson, Hand Cannot Erase. This is a 10th anniversary pressing. I have the OG pressing from 2015. If you asked me to name one record from the 2010s that I think everyone should hear, it would be Hand Cannot Erase by Steven Wilson. This record was inspired by the story of a woman who was found in her London apartment dead after like 3 years and no one noticed she was gone. All the songs are about that. There's also a music video for a song called Routine, which is the saddest music video you will ever see in your life. So it's a moody listen. But man, it's really, really good. This is what proved to me that Steven Wilson's solo stuff was just as credible as Porcupine Tree stuff that he'd done with the rest of his boys. So, check it out if you've never heard that record. Hand Cannot Erase by Steven Wilson. You will not be disappointed. I'm way too old and way too not a girl to be listening to these Sophia Asella records. I know that her fan base is young and female, but there's just like a darkness and an honesty to her music that I appreciate. And I think she's going to get really big. That's not why I bought them, because I think I like them. But she's just really got a really dark side that she lets shine through all the time. Her performances are very intense from what I can tell. I've never seen it live, and I probably won't, because once again, everyone there's probably like 21, and I'm not, but that's fine. This is a band that I got because this is the President pressing. This is their first physical vinyl. This is In the Name of the Father and Fearless. This was through Revolver Records. They only had 500 of these. These are reselling for crazy. I think I kind of like this band. I don't know. There's like so many show bands now. After the breakthrough of Ghost and Sleep Token, is kind of a research of this whole show band thing, this like performance art kind of thing. And I think that President falls into that. They're doing a couple shows soon, one in New York and one in Chicago. I could be wrong about that. But this is their first 2 American shows. I'm sure that they'll be crazy, but I like it. I don't love it, but maybe it'll grow on me. I have to hear a full length to know. Right now, I just got 2 songs. Fits in the Tantrums. Anyone who knows me knows this is I call this my stay alive band. Because whenever I have to drive a long distance, like 4 or 5 hours, and I'm tired, I put on Fits in the Tantrums, and I just have no problem staying awake because it's just energetic and great. I love that band. I just saw them live again with my wife, and we really, I think this is our 5th or 6th time seeing them. And they're just so good. They're just so good. Good pop music. The last 2 records, the songs have been shorter. Like 2 to 2.5 minutes, most of the songs. They're not really doing these expansive, kind of more extended bridge sections like they were at the beginning. I think they're kind of trying the soundbite delivery, like trying maybe Apple will pick up one of their songs and put it out or something. But it's really good. There's a song called Young Ones on the new album that Noelle Skaggs, the female in the band, wrote. And I think it's the best song on the album. So happy to see that for her and happy to hear it from them. And then last, in the single albums, we have Devo. We have Dio's Evil or Divine. Once again, a lenticular live record. When you find a used record that came out several years ago that hasn't been opened and hasn't been touched, and the price isn't bad, and it's something you enjoy, like Dio, you grab it. And that's all the single vinyl. I did get some CDs. I went kind of crazy on dollar CDs this week. I'm not going to go through all those because I bought probably 100 of them or so. But I don't know. I'm doing this thing where I'm sweeping up like solo artists or bands that are kind of like late 90s, early 2000s alternative. There's like so many bands that just like released 1 or 2 albums on CD and then just got dropped by the label because they weren't selling. And so if I see them for $1 or $2, I grab them because I want to hear them and see if they're any good. Many of them aren't on Spotify, and I think they're pretty decent. Some of them are bad, but you lose $1. Like it costs the same as like a bag of chips. Haha, I lied to you. I lied. Sorry. Yeah. I thought that's all we have. I found there was more that we were just scanning in yesterday, so I grabbed them real quick. A few of them are what my wife calls basement records, which means that she doesn't know if we're going to play them all the time, and she took a chance on some of them, and she thinks they should go in the basement records. We don't always look at those records. Sometimes we do, but here we go. Here's the basement records. She picked out this Happy Flowers band. I told her that it looks weird enough to take a chance on it. Man, it is loud. It is loud, noisy, not lousy. It is loud and noisy. I listened to 2 songs. It's interesting. I'm not going to say it's lousy. Leave Me Alone, Embryo, Call Me Pudge. I shouldn't have eaten that stuff. I mean, it's it's interesting. So this is going in the basement. I didn't know that, but yes, basement records. My wife also went all in on a band called Lucifer's Friend. This is from the like 70s and 80s. I guess every album kind of sounds, it's like a different style. So that's interesting. Two of the members passed away in the last 3 or 4 years, so they've now officially disbanded. But Good Time Warrior is here. We also have Sneak Me In, which is an interesting cover. And then this is called Mean Machine, which is shorter 3-minute songs. This one here has like full choir and like band. So the first song is like 11 minutes long. This album is called Banquet. Strange. This is the darkest looking record, but it didn't sound terribly dark. I guess maybe by the early 70s standards it was. I'm not sure. But they really tried a bunch of different stuff. They would, you know, they didn't stick to one genre. They would change between records. They did something like 9 or 10 albums. And they were all pretty different. And then, I mean, you need Reckless by Bryan Adams. But if you find Cuts Like a Knife, do you ever see people using the CD of this to cut a pizza? They're like, oh, look, it cuts like a knife. Either way, Cuts Like a Knife. You know, a classic Bryan Adams album. These are not basement records. These are just more records. Ministry. Here we have, you know, has Work for Love and Revenge on it. It's actually an OG pressing. That is a promo pressing with Sympathy. They've revisited this stuff recently. As I told you, one of my favorite records this year so far is the Squirrely Ears. They're revisiting, but yes, it has the gold label promo. So yeah, it's, you know, it's interesting. It's a promo disc, so I'm checking it out. This band is called Ulven, not Ulver. Ulven. Death Rites Upon a Winged Crusade. I'm sure it's winged and not winged. This is a black metal record. There's only 100 copies, and this was number 67. I mean, why not? I'll check out some underground black metal, you know? Lenny Kravitz is kind of like Prince, you know, if you find the record. Raise Vibration is this album. I think we have almost all the Lennys now. Lenny, once again, just like Mariah, not frequent pressing on vinyl, but if you see it and it's fairly cheap, you grab it. Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga, Cheek to Cheek. This is something that I almost bought when they first put it out several years ago. And I didn't. And of course, Tony has since passed on. But, you know, he sounds pretty good on this record. And Lady Gaga always sounds incredible. George Michael is somebody that I always kind of go as far as like decent, you know, pop from that era. I think George Michael always does pretty good stuff. This album's called Older, and it's one of his later records. Of course, he died several years ago. It's a red pressing from 2021 that I guess was delayed because the Queen died. Interesting. Got a Madonna single here, Like a Virgin. This is a European pressing of the single. A little bit of water damage on the top. I think it was like, I don't know, $15 or something. It's pressed in France. But Madonna is somebody that, once again, old pop that I like to collect. I know I'm calling it old pop and it's pop when I was a kid. That means I'm old as well. I get it. Okay, this is Yeah, 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 Yeah by the Pogues. Once again, an Aaron Whitaker pickup. She thought it was kind of cool, and it was $5. And I listened to the Limerick Rake yesterday, and it's pretty cool. This is Ariel Pink's Haunted Graffiti 5. Just once again, a weird record that Aaron D picked up for a few bucks. This was recorded in his basement or at his house. So, you know, production value, not super high, but, I mean, indie rock doesn't need to have super high production value, does it? I'm going to fly through these ones pretty quickly. Just some original pressings of Aerosmith, Rockin' a Hard Place, Rocks, their live bootleg. There wasn't really a bootleg because it was an official release. You know, of course, their early stuff, you can't ever go wrong with Draw the Line and the early stuff like that. And then here we have a promo pressing of Pump. Aerosmith is a solid blues rock band, and I've talked about them before on my channel. They're not one of my favorite bands of all time, but I really do enjoy them, and so if I see their stuff for a decent price that I don't have, I get it. Really, really cool here. Aaron found this. This is a 1973 original pressing, British pressing of Black Sabbath's Bloody Sabbath. Really cool back cover on this album as well. But yes, you know it's the original pressing. It's got the WWA005 and the Super Deluxe stamp on there, and all of the wax, dead wax lines up. So, you know, I think this record is, I think, a little bit underappreciated in the catalog sometimes, but it's really, really good, I think. More Madonna. We've got Ray of Light here and La Isla Bonita. I don't know, once again, if I this is a record store day. It has this Obi strip on it, but it's actually a record store day pressing from 2018, maybe, something like that. Once again, decent prices. Didn't have Ray of Light. I have every Madonna CD pretty much, so we're just getting it on vinyl now. 1990 Swedish punk Plague Chain Song Massacre. This album was $8, and it just looks dirty and sludgy, and I want to own it. It might be absolutely terrible. A U2 single for Mysterious Ways, She Moves in Mysterious Ways, which I think is one of the best songs from that era of the band. And I've never seen the single just laying around used in a bin, so we grabbed it. Pac-Man Fever, Buckner and Garcia. My wife says that she remembers this song coming out when she was young, and that makes sense because it was 1982. So that would track. I don't remember this, which is funny because I really enjoyed Pac-Man, but kind of cool. They give you tips for how to play Pac-Man the best on the sleeve. So if you have Pac-Man Fever and you get the Pac-Man Fever record, I mean, it's a perfect combo. 2 Billy Joel records that we did not have yet, original pressings, and we have most of them now. We might have all of them, I'm not sure. But here we have The Bridge, which I know just got a repress, but if you find the original for $12, why not? And then Streetlight Serenade, which I know was not one of his more well-received records. I have to go back and listen to it again and decide if I don't like it or do like it. I don't recall despising it. Then we have Def Leppard's Slang. Once again, not a highly touted album by this band, but you don't see it on vinyl too much. So if you're going to get it and you see it, I mean, now's the time. And then, last but not least, we have a super cool pressing of Alkaline Trio's album Crimson. It is a red and black mix. Really nice, really nice. Alkaline Trio is a band that I wanted to get the box set, and the box set had come out a while ago, and I didn't see it until after its release. And it instantly shot up to, you know, several $100s, like, I don't know, $600-700. And I'm not going to pay that much for an Alkaline Trio box set, although I do really like them. You know, if you can get all their individual records, they repress them. This is an older pressing, and one that's not very common, actually, but happy to have it, and I do love this record. And then here's a box set before I do the official box sets. This is Bob Mould, best known for Husker Du. This is a 4-part 8 LP, no, 5-part. This is Distortion Plus Live. This is all live stuff from him. There were 700 signed copies, I think, and there was probably 1,500 unsigned copies. This is an unsigned copy. Not really too worried about that, honestly, but I really dig his live show. I love the live energy. 3 box sets. We grabbed Mark Lanigan's One Way Street. This is the 5 records here that he put in through Sub Pop, The Winding Sheet, Whiskey for the Holy Ghost, which I've heard before, and I like that record a lot. Scraps of Midnight, I'll Take Care of You, and Field Songs, also which I heard and I thought was quite good, although Whiskey for the Holy Ghost was my favorite out of those that I just named. But I saw this box set, and it was only 1 record. The Winding Sheet was open. The other 4 were not open. So it's pretty much a new box set. So I'm like, yes, please. Yes, please. This is one I don't know if I needed to get. We needed to grab this. I don't know. I convinced myself. And Erin, you don't have to convince her very much. She wants to get it. But this is Tracks 2. This is the Bruce Springsteen box set that he recently... He's a thick boy. That he recently released. This is 7 unreleased studio albums from the years of 1983 to 2018. Some of them are very stripped back and folky, and I don't think ever got a full recording. Some of them have like a drum machine with them. Some of them have full band. I listened to 3 of these on Spotify with varying results. Some of them I really, really enjoyed. I wish I could remember the song that really, really hit me. There was one in particular that had a little drum machine in the background. that I thought was great. But yeah, this is hit or miss. So but I wanted to get it because I know they're gonna go away and then you won't be able to get it. And I've just been kind of on the fence about it. So it just felt like the time to pull the trigger because I saw it and it was there and it was still in the crate, shipping crate. So I'm like, I'm gonna get it. Last but not least, I shared a picture of this on my Instagram. This is a crazy Smashing Pumpkins box set. It is called Live in Europe 1992, Volume 1 through 13, which scares me because that means they might release more of these, and I don't want to buy them all. It's 13 albums, 13 shows. One says unknown, but I think the second show is mislabeled, and I think the unknown show is actually... There's like 3 or 4 shows that are mislabeled on here. But Billy Corgan's been releasing a lot of their Smashing Pumpkins stuff, like the hidden stuff, through his tea house, believe it or not. So we've been grabbing those things when they come through. Probably wouldn't have gotten it had we thought about the fact that the Machina 1 and 2 box set was coming out 2 weeks later. That put a pretty big dent in the funding. But we did order the Machina 1 and 2, not the signed one. How many signed things do you need to buy for one band? You don't need to buy it all. But I am excited about Machina, coming out. I've always said Machina, and then I heard Billy in some interviews recently. I'm like, oh, it's Machina. Okay. So Machina 1 and 2, we did get the expanded box set, and that'll be coming in probably, if not at the end of this month, by September. So, and that's it. Sorry for jumping around so much. There was just a lot of stuff that was in separate rooms, and I had to go and collect it and do this. But if you enjoyed this, feel free to like, follow, subscribe, and tell me which ones of these I should listen to first, which ones you'd be excited to have, which ones you would maybe not be excited to have, and any recommendations by some of these artists that I should check out. Let me know. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you around. Bye-bye.